Hi, welcome to Pop Chat. And today we have the lovely Bogdana with us, poet, and also she is a pop administrator and a dear person. So happy to have you, Bogdana. So
Me
glad
too.
you're here.
Coming here. I'm
Yeah,
happy.
very glad you're here. So for the viewers, anybody who's watching, if you make comments, you need to identify yourself by signing basically the comment after you do it. Otherwise, we don't know who you are, and unless you change your settings, which few people seem to know how to do, including myself. So, so Bogdana, I was going to read your bio, but instead of doing that, I want you to tell me about Bogdana. Tell us a little bit about you and where you're from and your personal background, and then kind of delve into your poetry realm for us. If you would do that, that would be wonderful.
I'll try. I don't know. There's so many things that gathered somehow that I'm gonna try to talk few. I don't like to talk a lot about my background. I mean, it's like, going so formal and present your CV like I don't know what to say. I'm a joyful person, as you can see. I always smile. I come from Romania. It's a nice country. It's beautiful. If you have the chance one day to come and visit it. um I like to write, as many of you already know. I like to um I don't know, read, to listen to music. I don't know. I have a lot of passions. I like making photos, interesting photos in nature or to people, or when I have time to go and spend time with my phone and doing photos. Um, I'm generally a joyful person. Sometimes I have my bad days too, but I'm trying to smile, not be affected. Even sometimes it's difficult to manage because all people have worries with day by day and all the stuff that's around us, but I'm trying as my best to not being affected too much as I can, because uh I don't know, I when I'm surrounded by many negative news, for example, watching TV, I just prefer to stop it or change the channel. I don't know, look at the movie, listen to music, do something else, because I know that when I start listening to something very negative, my brain starts processing everything and oh my God, and the panic comes. So
Yeah.
I want to avoid this,
You know,
and I
I
prefer to
agree with
stop.
that. Negativity breeds negativity, and positivity breeds positivity. I quit
Yes.
watching the news years ago because there was too much negative. So I haven't watched it in years, and I'm probably a better person because of it.
I
So
started with the pandemic. Then there were so much negative things, and every day I was only hearing so many deaths, so many deaths, so many deaths. So I was like, oh my God, I just can't stand it anymore. So I was stopping the TV and just even if there were periods when I couldn't get out of the house, or I could get out of the house, but very little. I was preferring to stay in the house, but listening to music, reading a book that maybe I just couldn't finish a long time ago, or I don't know, doing things like that, because I knew that panic was going to lead me to something much worse. So I just prefer to make my own life in my own house, not the way media wants to. So I just wanted to start and change everything. And since then, I just try to avoid as much as I can. Um, Even if sometimes, if you hear about um a best friend's death or something like that, it affects you. You cannot avoid it, but I'm still trying to, manage the situation as much as I can, because I know that, okay, I cry, but I just can't stay all the time crying. It's not a good thing. So I'm trying to avoid it as much as I can. I'm a human too. I suffer. I know how it feels, but I know that I don't know, nowadays it's a lot of as you said, a lot of negativity. You don't hear something positive, and we are the only ones who can change this and bring positivity to the people around us, because otherwise everything will be just only negative. And it's not about only a physical war, what's happening now in the world. It's about this mental war that
Right.
media give to us every day. We just have to struggle every day and think about, oh my God, I have to pay the bills, I have to do this, I have to do that. It's too much. So the best way is to try to, not to think too much, try to spend time with the people you love, try to read a book, try to do what you love, and don't try to think too much about tomorrow, because, you know, you never know when tomorrow is. And even if it comes, you don't have to fool it from the beginning with all the worries. And don't panic, because this paranoia thing, it's very, dangerous for people and for
Right.
everybody.
Sure, sure. So, I know that you have gone through some hardships in your life, and I remember
Yeah.
your last interview and how you talked about you had a twin,
Yeah,
and
I had a twin.
I know that your mom also passed. So, did your mom die during like childbirth after giving birth,
Yeah,
or
yeah, she died during childbirth because she had some problems, some medical problems. And Uh, well, she gave birth to us, and then the things complicated. My sister didn't survive. She only lived a few days. My mom didn't knew because she died uh, immediately after she gave birth to us. She had some complications and she died. But I know that she didn't knew. Meanwhile, before she died, my sister, I think she lived a little longer, but she gave birth to us. My sister was still living, but when she died and my mom was still alive, um, an assistant told to my grandma, so the mom of my mother, that she shouldn't tell to my mom the truth, because she already was, in a very difficult position. She felt very bad. She was very ill, so a bad news was not good to her. So she said she should avoid it, even if, my mom was asking every day, how are my daughters? How are they? And she wanted, my grandma told me that she wanted all day to take us in her arms, but the assistant was like, not now, you have to take care of yourself. They were avoiding, not to
yeah,
ask about my twin sister. So finally, yeah, she passed away, and my sister couldn't survive too much, and I was the only one who was alive. Yeah.
yeah. Well, we were blessed with you anyway, so sure
Thanks.
it must have been hard. So, how did you get into poetry?
uh well, at the beginning I was at high school and I was writing poetry, but that kind of childish poetry, not something very, very serious. And, like falling in love and have butterflies in your stomach, things like that when you're a teenager. And then, after having more difficult problems, personal problems, when I got to the university, because it's a long story, my father kicked me out of the house, so I had to manage all by myself and things like that. Um, I, I was alone. I was in a complete uh, foreign place because I didn't knew Brasov when I came here, and I was alone. I had no friends, nobody to know, and I used writing as a therapy. So I didn't knew about literary groups and all those stuff. For me, it was, something great to discover them. And then, searching on internet like everybody does, and seeing that all kind of literary groups are, and many challenges and contests and things. I was thinking like, maybe I could write something, maybe people would like it. I don't know. And I just tried, and then a lot of groups and a lot of groups, and then many people who were asking me, Bogdana, would you come to an interview? Would you want to come to join us and everything? And I was like, wow, after all, I did something good. And then I just started evolving and evolving, and I I participated in anthologies, and now this year my book and all this crazy thing. But I wasn't sure on myself at the beginning. I was shy too. I was like, do I have a chance? I don't know if people would love my poetry. After all, it was somehow a different style, because even if I wrote in English, had short poems, not very long, not very, not a long story, but I tried to put the message, even if there were short lines, to give to people something strong. So, and at first I started writing for myself because it was like a therapy. It
Sure.
was the thing that it helped me, passing through the bad moments. And then I started writing, inspiring from, I don't know, other stories and other people, I don't know, messages, things that my friends told me or other people. And I was, wow, I could write a poem about this. And I
Mhm.
started doing this. Yeah.
That's neat. Why? And you've done a marvelous job. Why don't you share one of your poems with us?
My poems?
Yeah, share one with us now, if you would.
Okay, I would take one of my book, which is called My Soul Pyramid, and I will read this one. Death is Life. I saw an abandoned building, very old and very rusty. Time has given the verdict there. Usually abandoned places are dead places, but not now. This was a place full of people, full of life, full of children that were laughing, playing with stones instead of toys. People that were happy because it was less cold than outside, even if the windows were broken. Here, death is life, and the darkness is not black
All right. Thank you. That was beautiful, Bogdana.
enough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have some comments from people, so I'll put some up.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't see them, but you can read them. Yeah, if you want.
Here we got, wow, that's awesome. So I guess we're talking about this was early on in the interview, so thank you for that. Jill is in the room, our ever
Hello,
faithful,
Jill.
and Sai Prakash as well. Hi,
Hello,
Sai.
Mr. Sai.
And then we have Jill again because she always says lasses, so not sure who this is, but they're wishing us well. And not sure who that is either. Please identify yourselves and sign your things.
On your
And
message.
so I'm just popping them up here. And there
And
you
now
go.
I see Jill. Yeah. Oh, and the guy Muchu, or I don't know how it pronounces,
From
Bogdana is a very responsible and talented creative writer. Thanks.
very
Yeah,
good.
Jill is sending hugs and kisses and smiles.
Yes, she's always so affectionate. How would you describe your style of writing?
I don't know if it's a style. Everybody asks me this. How is your style? I don't know if it's actually a style, uh, but yeah, what I can say is that it's short. Yeah, all I know is that I just discovered that um for I don't know, uh, if I talk about my English poetry, yeah, it's short, and I feel the need to put in short lines, but I mean to put short lines but strong message. I don't want to bother. I mean, I don't want to feel people, too tired when they read my poetry. Like, oh my God, it's so long. Oh my God, No, I just want to give short messages, but messages who make you, think at what you write there. I mean, just give you an idea and leave you with what does this message actually wants to say, because I think the poetry this is all about, or if not about making you analyzing something, it's about uh maybe people will recognize in your story because they feel what you exactly feel, so,
Right. Well,
or you felt
you
what they
just
feel.
yeah, you just said, what will the message convey? And I think that poetry and our messages and what we write is open up for interpretation. So what one person interprets it, or even how it's written and meant to be, may be different than how someone interprets it. Very often. And so actually, that's kind of a segue into you recently did a recitation for Alan Johnson of something that
Yeah.
he had written. So I want to show that. And here is the lovely Bogdana doing her recitation. Maybe, maybe not.
The Chimless Clock by Alan Johnson.
We see if it
It is
works.
not I who beholds my art.
This,
The Chimless
It
Clock by
starts.
hold it, because usually it goes to full screen and mutes, and it's not doing it. So let me see.
It wrote that the mic muted between, but it just started and it stopped.
I'm going to mute us so we can play it.
Uh-huh.
The Chimless Clock by Alan Johnson. It is not I who beholds my art, for thee has enriched my stolen heart, without such claim as void of sin, a thread, this silent lonely kin. Must it be those tired eyes shut, or do I write those words put? If live or not a silent tear as onward there, in land I fear. Listen to the music play, each note of hope, each wave astray. Though the engines steam the sky upon the tracks, my memory fly. Take me, hold me, my heart is set, take me home to all I had. As I rest, these words in flow. There you have. There you know.
Yeah, when I saw that, I had read Alan's poem, and then when I saw it, I thought, wow, that was a very sensual interpretation of that poem. I thought, well, it's kind of like I have a favorite jazz artist. Her name is Jane Monheit, and she does Stevie Wonder's song "Overjoyed." Now his
Wow.
is just kind of this really upbeat, tempo, but she takes it down to a totally different level. She kind of sexifies it and changes the tempo. I always call it my bubble bath song because she just does her own little swag. So it's really interesting because we can, just through our interpretation, whether it's recitation or whatever, or even in our minds, we can interpret something, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
I wanted to try something. I mean, this poem of Alan talks about this, short life that we have, this clock that always follows us no matter what we do. And I was thinking, you know, I wanted to bring something when I recite, but I didn't knew what. And not too many things, not too many objects or something. So I was thinking, I just, in my mind just came this butterfly that I have in this house, which I use because, you know, people, the science or scientific people, they say that butterflies have a very very short life. Still, they enjoy, this life they have, even if it's short. So I was thinking that our life is somehow the same, and everything is short, and this clock that tick tocks every day, we don't know how much we live and when we die and all these things. And I was thinking, can I bring this butterfly at the end of the poem? I think it would, I don't know how to say, it would enlighten the sense of the poetry more. It would be a beautiful ending. So I did this. It was an experiment. I don't know how much people enjoy it, but it was an experiment. I hope Alan loved it too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Well, no, it was definitely. I think it's your way of interpreting it and actually executing it, and I think you did a nice job. So,
Thank you very much.
so if you could tell me about what your greatest attribute is. What is Bogdana's greatest attribute?
Oh, I don't know how to describe myself to talk about my attributes. I think other people should say it and not me, because
Well, yeah.
it
Like
sounds like,
I like
being
my
too
ears.
proud.
I like my ears. So that would be my probably favorite physical attribute. But it doesn't have to be a
No,
physical thing. It can be a
uh,
a
I don't
character thing.
know if I have this physical thing that I like to me, but I think the I discovered that the maybe most beautiful thing that I have, or I'm trying to keep it, is the fact that I'm childish. Many people, when they grow up, they behave like a grown up, but if you want to make them smile or take them away from their worries, they are, what are you doing? Treating, you're trying to be like a child. I'm not a child anymore. Okay, but why do you want to lose that? This is the most beautiful part you can have, being a child. And it doesn't matter you have 40, 50, 60 years old. It just matters that you know we all need, no matter the age, we all need sometimes, then we all have the need to be a child again.
Yeah.
And uh you know sometimes not behaving like a grown up, it's a good treatment. You just, your mind flies away, your imagination flies away. You have, in order to have this, to feel this beauty of life, sometimes you have to be a child again, because when you're a child, you really are happy of everything that surrounds you. Seeing the sun, a flower, a butterfly, everything. When you're a grown up, you're like, oh my God, I don't have time of going to a movie. I don't have time of doing this and that. You have, but if you let yourself,
Yeah,
because
I think we sometimes take it, it for granted as we get older. And
yeah, and
I
to
think
this.
there's a child in all of us that we can tap
Yeah,
into when
yeah,
we want.
yeah. And this is
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I mean, I'm trying to be childish as much as I can, and I'm not interested if people, I don't know, are bothered by this behavior of mine or not. I just feel that way. I think that is my best treatment to, you know, uh, feel the advantages of what I have, to be grateful for what I have, to, I don't know, not think about all the bad things that happen around me. I'm just trying to be like a child. I even, I have 35 years, but if I tell you, I'm still sleeping with a teddy bear in bed
Oh,
sometimes, because I really need, it's not about that. I don't think it's about the problem that you have a boyfriend or not, or you have a family or not. It's about the fact that you really feel this need to be childish sometimes, to be in your own planet, in your own world. And I think this is the best way of overcoming everything, because I like being a child. I like when I see toys. Sometimes I'm more childier than a child who goes to a toy store and see a toy. And I'm like, wow, a bear or a rabbit or I I just love them, This is my beautiful part. And yeah, I'm really happy that I could keep it.
well, good. Alan is sending his
Hello, Ellen.
love for you here. There you go. He has all the
Yeah,
time in the world for you.
yeah, I have
So
adopted Bogdana, and
there you go.
who shines. Thanks, Ellen. You're very kind. We were talking about your poem. I don't know if you saw the video with the chimless clock.
And then we have someone from the Philippines saying hello, Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth. Hi. Yeah, she's a very nice girl and a very nice poetess. Yeah, Elizabeth Castillo.
So, is there anything that you would like to accomplish regarding writing or poetry that you haven't done yet, but you kind of want to do? Have you published yet?
Yeah, well, I said that I have this book of mine, my own book,
Oh,
my soul pyramid. Yeah.
yay! Is that your first book?
Yeah, it's my first own book because until now I published in magazines and anthologies, but now it's my first book. Yes.
That
Um,
congratulations. That's when
thank
did
you.
that come out? When did you publish it?
In August,
Oh,
exactly in
nice.
August. Yeah, and I had with her even the launching to a Romanian radio. I presented there. Yeah.
Who did you publish with?
It was somebody uh from Bucharest. Yeah, I mean there it was
In
the
your
printing,
country?
the
Yeah. Is it
publishing
is it
house.
available on Amazon, I'm sure, probably?
No, no, it's not on Amazon because I haven't found somebody to exactly put it there and make a. I had it only on some Romanian sites, and I think I just put some images with a little presentation myself. But no, I didn't manage. But although I'm still happy because there were people who were interested in my book, and I was happy that I just received beautiful messages about, I love your poetry and I really like what you write. And this was my beautiful present. I mean, the fact that people really love your book and, they don't take it and just put it in the library and say, okay, I have another book. The fact that they read your book, this is the most beautiful thing. And um I
Well,
don't know if
I'm
I
so
have
excited for
something.
you. Yeah, that's so
Yeah,
exciting that you finally got it done. Mine was published. My first one was published the year before, so we're both August girls, I guess. As
I
far as putting our stuff out.
the fact that I have a dream, I don't know. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe it sounds silly. I'm not that person who just uh, mm, writes for trophies or for recognitions, although I have a, a number of recognitions, but it's not about the fact that I write for that. But yeah, why shouldn't I say that? Maybe I would be proud of winning one day. I don't know, a trophy at the contest. It would be nice to have my own trophy, in my house. I mean, for writing something, maybe I don't know, something that will amaze the jury or something. Yeah, I think every writer somehow dreams for it. It's not something to be ashamed or I don't know. It's not, and I don't want people to understand me wrong that I write for trophies or no, it's not about that. I write for my soul. Yeah, and I write for people to give them messages. It's not about that. But yeah, well, sometimes this kind of, let's say, form of recognition, a diploma or a trophy, sometimes they give you the courage to move on because you really feel that you have an importance, you have a role. Uh, they shouldn't make you forget somehow about um your beginning and the way you started,
Yeah.
but still they somehow, yeah, they can motivate in a way because I knew how I was at the beginning when I was writing and just not having any kind of recognition. I was like, I was writing, but it was very hard. I didn't know the reactions, if I deserve, if I don't deserve, if I'm a good writer, if I'm not. And when the recognitions came, I just felt that I have to move on, that this is the first step, and it's very important that I should never give up. So yeah, they have their role too, but as long as you're not, you don't become very selfish, because there are people who, after they receive recognitions or trophies, they start becoming selfish with the other people. They start thinking only about themselves. They don't write poetry from their heart. They start writing for, only making something commercial. I don't want to be like that. So even if I will have trophies or not, I will write exactly what I feel, and I don't want to change my soul, not for money, not for trophies.
Well,
It's just that, yeah, sometimes they motivate
we don't want you to change it either. So
you.
the way you are. So I know that you have a boyfriend. What's your boyfriend's name? We're
uh,
supposed to.
Marion. It's called
Oh,
Marion.
okay, great. And so have you all been together very long?
Yeah, actually, we have uh 14 years together, staying together in the same house. But we're
14?
not married because we
Yeah.
couldn't afford until now to do the step.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Did you say 14 years? That's
yeah,
a
14 years. Yeah,
girl.
long time. Yeah.
So, is he supportive of you and your
Yeah,
poetry?
he's very supportive. From the first day that I started writing more and dealing with groups and contests and everything, he was the first one who said, Bogdana, please move on. And I had different periods in my life. I had people around me who were saying, when they when they found out that I started receiving some recognitions from some groups, they just started discouraging me, telling me, oh, come on, those recognitions are fake, don't believe in them, you should give up. And I was saying, how could you say that? You could see a fake recognition. This is from that person, from that group. You can't say it's fake. This is a stupid thing. And then I realized I was somehow, I didn't knew what to believe. And then my boyfriend Marion came and said, Bogdana, these are only things that want are meant to discourage you. You don't have to be discouraged. Please trust those people. They really know what they send to you. So this is a true recognition. That means that you have talent, you have proven that you know what to write, and please move on. Don't discourage yourself. So I started writing and writing and writing and writing, and I never gave up. And he was always by my side, no matter that we had financial problems or we had all kind of problems. He just said, this is your dream. You have to fight for your dream. And then
Oh,
I started doing a lot of things. I mean, after writing, besides writing, I started doing collabs at two different radios from Romania. The same thing with reciting poems or fragments from theater plays. Um, then I made again last year, I think I made something again something new for me. I wrote a script for a short movie that
wow.
appeared in Romania. Yeah, it was my first experience because I haven't done that. And there were I had a close friend who was involved in this. I mean, she was an actress. She played
Right.
in the movie, and she knew that um uh, the guy who was producing the film was looking for somebody to write the script. He had the idea exactly, but he wanted somebody to write the script. So they were looking for somebody, but it should have been somebody volunteer because they had no money, they had no support, financial support. So they said, if somebody wants to involve in this. And she asked me, I know that you're talented, I know that you wrote yourself a script. And I said, yeah, but I wrote a script for my theater play, for my monologue. But theater is different from movies, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to write it. Well, let's give it a try. Talk to the guy. And I talked to the guy. He told me what his ideas were, and he gave me a time to write. And I think in 2 weeks it was ready, the script, and I gave it to him. I was nervous. I didn't know if he liked it or something. And after that, the guy called me and said, Bogdana, the script is beautiful. I'm gonna make the movie. Thank you very much for writing. And I was like, wow, because it was my first script movie. Yeah, and it was emotioning. I mean, that's why sometimes I tell people don't be afraid of doing something new. You never know if you're talented or not if you don't start doing it. I if you were telling me a few years ago that I would talk to a radio or that I would start my own YouTube channel or that I would do a script for something, I would be like, oh, no way. But now,
Well, you can do anything, I'm sure. Once you put your mind into it, you can do anything. Will you
yeah,
read us, another one of your poems, please?
yeah, sure. Um, I have another, well, I said they are short, but it's another, I think, with a very good message. It's called Earthquake. I can't live in buildings with too many floors. I am afraid of them. There, my wife and my kids died when it was an earthquake. I'm emotionally exhausted, always remembering that day and blaming myself for living. I can't stand higher places because my heartbeat is very low. I can't stand higher places, and my scars are still asking for answers.
Thank you. That was
You're
beautiful.
welcome.
Beautiful.
You're welcome.
So, if there's any place that you could go in the world, where would you want to go? Where would
Oh,
you
wow.
want to visit?
This is a difficult question. But yeah, I don't know why, but since I was, I don't know, in high school, I was very passionate about Egypt and the pyramids and the history with the gods and everything. And I was reading books about it. So not just
Yeah.
looking at images. I'm fascinated. I think I would want to go in places like that with, I like places which are have a very interesting history. In the places where you go and visit, they have uh, an interesting background. So I would like to go in Egypt or in Morocco. Yeah, I think they are very nice places to go and visit. And I don't know, they attract me somehow. I really don't know why. Or Peru. Yeah, places like that. I'm very fascinated about them. I don't know why exactly, but yeah, I'm very fascinated about those kind of places.
Yeah. Well, I can certainly see why. I kind of share a little bit of that myself. I'd love to go to places like that as well. So,
Yeah, generally, I don't know. I like people where there are interesting things. Alan said that, I don't know, a few kilometers away from the place where he lives, it's a village where the Bronte sisters live.
oh, the Brontes,
So
yeah.
yeah, and I really said that yeah, it
Mhm.
would be nice to go there too because I really like when I go and visit memorial houses with,
Yeah,
you really feel that background of the person who lived there. That house is really emotionally, it has that energy of the person or the persons who live there. So I think it's very I don't know, fascinating to go and see that place after many, many years. And it's like, reliving that past,
yeah,
bring it back, bringing it back. It's very interesting. Yeah, I would love, yeah, to go there too. It really was fascinating. And Alan puts all kind of images where he goes and walks with Willow, and there are so beautiful images and pictures. And you're so, like, wow, so beautiful. You can't believe it. And yeah,
yeah,
generally, beautiful places are really fascinating me. But I
yeah.
think every country has its own beauty
We
somehow.
have a lot of beauty here, and I live in a beautiful area. It's got all kinds of mountains. It's beautiful here.
Wow.
So, yeah. Let's see. We have some comments. Let's see. Uh, I don't know. Alan's kind of he was up
I
saving
was
the
up.
cat. He was up saving the cat next door. So,
And the cat was fine, and then I needed saving as the letter gave way. Well, I hope
And
you're okay.
well, he came by
Congratulations
to
on you,
make a comment,
Jill.
so I must be
Oh,
going.
thank you, Jill. You're
Then we
nice.
have Michael Dulake here,
Hello, Mike.
says, and
Thank you.
don't know who that is because we don't have any. And then
So
Michael
please
Dulake
sign who wrote
again.
congrats, but yeah, remembering roots as a poet. Yeah, yeah, that's what I said. Remembering, not forgetting who you are, because some people are carried away by
And
the
this
success.
is telling us your wonderful persona, which of course, sweet, humble human being. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
But
you.
please
And
sign your messages.
this one's from Kathy Joe Bryant,
Thank you,
and
Kathy. Hello, Kathy.
then Greg Etzel is here, and
So, Greg, no, it's not late.
awesome
Awesome
poem. He
poem.
says
Thank
awesome poem, and I don't know who this is, so I don't think
Yeah,
it's.
please sign. You wrote something about watch two talented ladies. Okay, but please sign so we know who it is.
Excuse me. Goodness, do you have a favorite poet yourself? Is there anyone that you really like?
Yeah, I have one. Um, I really love. Um, if you're talking about classic poets, I really love Edgar Allan Poe. I'm really fascinated about his poems. Uh, he's he's not easy to read. He has difficult and deep poems. The most
Yeah.
known one is The Raven, but he has others too. Yeah, I really love Poe. And if I talk about contemporary poets, well, there are a lot. I don't know if I have time to mention all of you.
Well,
I really,
just mention one or two that you like, maybe.
oh, whoa, well, you're many. I can't, make a difference between you. Even you have different styles. I love you too.
Ah,
Jill has interesting poems too. I like Sabrina Supath. I'm really having with her a very beautiful friendship. She's very, very nice. Also, Veronica Pingle. She's a nice lady too, and she really has nice poems. And I don't know, if I forget somebody, please forgive me, but you're many. Alan, even if he says he's not a poet, I really like his poems. They have a depth in them, inside them. They're not just, you don't read childish poems. He really has message in them. That's why I really tried two or three from what he had to take them, because it's like I would have, when I read them, it's like I just traveled through his soul and I discovered him. That's somehow the most easier way to discover
yeah,
somebody. Because people say, "Well, I don't know that person exactly." Read his poems. It's just like you will discover the person's soul. You immediately feel that person.
yes,
So
whether
he's
yeah,
like an
dark,
open book, He writes and he's like an open book. He really writes what he feels. So I really love his poems too. It's not about only reciting. He's a good reciter also, yeah, but he's also a good poet. Even he says he's not, but he is.
well,
Yeah.
he is. He's a great writer. He really is. So we have Timothy Payton is here. Hey,
Hello,
Timothy.
Timothy. Nice to see you.
And someone says, "Nice to see you here, darling." Not sure who that is.
Hi,
And
but fine.
this is Alan says he's coming to visit you in the spring, so be ready for a mad time. Take care.
Okay, just come. I will wait for you.
Yeah, there you go. And Jill, and then we have Greg Etzel. So thank you for your comments. So,
Yep.
is there anything that you think that we can do in the poetry community to further promote people into writing? Something that we aren't doing now. So, not something innovative or something that we could do to incite more people to write.
Well, I don't know exactly if I have an advice now, because you blowed my mind with this question. um, but what I know is that if it's something disturbing, is the fact that some people really try to help on some groups, and some people come with hating messages, with bad messages, with negative messages. I mean, this is very disturbing. If you don't like a community or a group, you can leave. Nobody puts you there to stay, nobody forces you, but it's very not comfortable for, there are poets who really don't have trust in themselves. They're really shy, and they try to make a step on different literary platforms. And when somebody comes and says, "Oh, your poetry is nothing," they walk away because they feel hurt. So I
Yeah.
think we should be more united. I mean, after all, even the styles are different, we're still poets too. And we should support ourselves. Generally, it's beautiful when the artists support themselves, no matter if they're poets or painters or actors, because this is a beautiful world. Why bring hate inside it? It's
Right.
something, it's not beautiful. So this is the problem I hate the most now, in the fact that everywhere that I go, but almost all the groups that I go, I just see people who just write hating comments, mean comments. They don't like being supportive. They are sometimes selfish. They only think about themselves. If they
Exactly.
don't get the recognition, they start yelling like, "Why don't I get a recognition? Because my poetry is beautiful too." Well, I remember, I can tell you from my first experience, my first recognition on a group was after 1 month. So I just didn't wrote a poetry, and the next day I had a recognition. I had to wait. That didn't mean that my poetry wasn't good, but it's a competition, and we have to admit that. Okay,
Right.
everybody wants to, you know, have his um poetry there, to talk about himself or herself, to people to see their product. We should have patience. I don't like when people hate each other and start
Yeah,
with this.
I think you're exactly right, and I think that it's very good to build each other up, and if you say negative things about people, or critique them, and there's never anything positive, then it's
Yeah,
bad.
that's what
So
that's why I try, even on your group, to make that recital once a week as much as I can, and on other groups as much as I can, because um I know that it's very important. It can be, yeah, a well-known poet, but he can be also joyful, like yesterday Rita Chag, Mem Rita, but she was happy that I recited her poem. Or
right,
it can be somebody new, but I'm happy when that person writes in the comments, "Oh, Bogdana, thank you," because I know how it feels. It's important for that person to be supportive with them. So yeah, we should, I think, if everybody can contribute with something, I don't know, somebody with a recital, somebody with a review, everything that counts. I don't know, it's, or an interview or anything, because for people everything is, I mean, for them everything is important. When they see
right,
that somebody is believing in them and giving them a chance, is very important. So I think this is the problem, because we already have negativity, and if we bring more negativity, nothing would change. So we
right.
can be kind to each other, because uh, don't worry. It's not like, if you're gonna be mean, you will have more trophies and recognition. But
I
the
think I
whole,
think I think you and I are both people builders. We like to make people feel good and to say good things about people, and really uh, um, give them praise on their good attributes. And so when that's not returned, it's sometimes hard. We have a couple comments from like Timothy Payton, and he says that he totally feels what we're talking about, negativity and hate. There should be more unity, not division. Keep shining and keep doing what you're doing, and you're very welcome. Much love and blessings to you. So
thank you, Timothy.
yes, he's a great soul. And next
Yeah.
we have Michael Dulake, that he agrees we should encourage and inspire each other, that we see so many egos in poetry, and that's what's wrong. You are a perfect example of what poetry is about. And you are.
Thank you,
You're
Michael. Yeah, he has a great soul too. I listened one of his stories because Alan has that storyboard on
yeah,
YouTube, and I listened one of Michael's stories, and he really has a sensitive soul. Yeah.
he does. He does. Um, well, our time is kind of coming to an end, but I just want to let you know that um, I have always loved you so much, Bogdana.
I love you too, and I
I
really appreciate it.
and we, from the very beginning, well, I think I see what everyone else sees. What you have is not hidden. You're very outward with your love and your positivity, and I think that we need that in this environment. And what you have to share, as far as that's concerned, is very contagious. So just keep,
I'm
yeah, keep
I'm
being
happy to
you.
meet you too, and I really hope that one day I will have the chance to see you too.
We will do it someday. We will do it someday, and I'll be able to hold you and hug you, and you know. So, but thank you so much, Bogdana, and
I thank you too. I
love
thank you
you.
to you and all the people that came that were supportive. I really appreciate your kindness, and please don't change yourselves no matter what will happen. Don't change and keep yourselves the way you are.
Very good. Love from me and Bogdana. Bye,
Yeah.
bye, darling. Bye, everyone. Thank you for
Bye.
joining us.